Everybody, my name is Oddme, and I will be running Super Mario Odyssey any percent for the marathon. Guess we'll just get the countdown going now. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is by far one of the fastest growing and most popular speed games to date. It's one of the most run on speedrun.com, and it only came out about 8 months ago. So there's a lot of small optimizations that I'll be doing that were only put in like just recently, considering how new this game is. And right here, I'm going to be doing something called a spin pound, where I buffer a spin during like a loading zone or just while waiting. And that gives Mario like an instant speed boost right off the bat. And as you can see, rolling, specifically shaking the controller to get a power roll, is the fastest movement on the ground. So right here I'm going to be doing a little strat to make the bridge spawn faster by going into first person there. And normally you would have to wait for the camera to pan so that the bridge would spawn, but if you go into first person it just instantly makes it come out. Alright, enter this door here and get introduced to our first capture, which is the frog. And here I'm going to be doing a trick called vectoring, which, while I'm in the air when I do a frog jump, I just change my direction about 45 degrees, and that gives me a lot more distance than if I were to just jump normally. Oops, missed. Okay, and now coming up is a pretty hard trick. It's called left side, and this is just a faster way to get to the boss fight. I want to try and show it off. Alright, I got it. Nice. Here we have the first boss, Topper. Pretty simple fight. Alright, not the best Cap Kingdom, but decent start. Okay, so coming up after Cap Kingdom, which is basically a tutorial level of this game, is the first real kingdom, which is Cascade. And there are two big tricks that we're going to be doing here. First one is called First Moon Skip, which is exclusive to the version I'm running on, which is 1.0. And the reason this only works on 1.0 is because you can do the trick on other versions, but the boss fight doesn't trigger on newer versions, only on this one. And then immediately after I get First Moon Skip, I'm going to be doing a trick called Dino Jump to get to the boss. So here we go. It's pretty wonky to set up, so it might take a while. Oh, I missed. God. Yeah, it's pretty dumb because you have to get the cap in a very precise spot to get the dive vault, or just the cap vault. Alright, that should work. Nice. That's not too big of a time loss. Alright, now here's Dino Jump. Alright, that's one of the easiest skips in the game, and it saves a lot of time. Now we have the first real boss, Madame Brood. Basically, all you have to do is just hit her 3 times with her own chain chomp. And this little strat we do to get the hat off the chomp faster. I'm grabbing coins here. The reason I'm grabbing coins is because I need 200 total. One for a shop in Wooded Kingdom and one for a shop in Snow, because you can actually buy moons in this game using 100 coins, and we're going to be doing that twice. Now we're going to be getting our, what would be our like 3rd and 4th power moon, but since we skipped the first one, this is our first moon. And each kingdom requires a certain amount of moons to get to the next one, and this one requires 5, so I'm gonna be getting 2 moons immediately after this. You'll also notice I'll be playing on the Japanese version. This is because it saves 15 seconds over English. Because just faster text. Now, if I were playing on a newer version, I would not be getting this treasure chest because we would have gotten the first moon. Oh, God. There we go. Alright, that's it for Cascade. Next up is Sand Kingdom, which is one of the bigger kingdoms in the game. We need to get 16 moons here. And there is one pretty big trick that I normally don't do, but I'm gonna do it for the sake of the marathon. It's called Sphinx Clip, and it requires a frame-perfect input to clip through a wall to get, like, it saves about, like, 7 seconds, and what we normally do is sink into the sand to get a moon, and that takes a while. So we're just gonna clip through a wall and grab that moon out of bounds, and then we're also going to skip talking to the Sphinx to open up the loading zone to get in. But it is a pretty difficult trick, so I might take a while on it. And there's also a strat. It's not really a skip per se, but it is a pretty nice strat. It's called Dram Strat. And the reason it's called that is because Dram55 found it back when he ran this game. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Cappy in place under a bullet bill, grab a moon, and then instantly warp up to where the bullet bill was, because Cappy's going to capture it while I'm super far away. Yeah, other than those two tricks, Sand Kingdom is basically just mostly rolling, because there's a lot of hills and flat surfaces here. Alright, nice, I got that first try. That moon can screw you over if you're not in the right spot, because most of the time, if you miss it once, you're gonna miss it over and over. Just because it likes to mess with you. Alright, here comes Dram. Hoping I get it. That might work. Oh, nice, I got it. Okay. So what that does is it skips climbing up the ice pillar that we would normally climb up, and it saves around like 7 seconds. Ah, bullet bill. Alright, now after getting this moon, we're going to get a moon in the luggage, and then after that is Sphinx Clip. So here we go. This is the big one. Oh my god, I got it. First try. Now we just have to not clip back in bounds after getting the moon. This is a really sick Sand Kingdom so far. Now the reason we go into the Sphinx room is because we need a lot of coins, again, as I said before. We're just gonna roll up the stairs here. Get this bullet bill. Now for Jaxie Skip, which just skips like a super long underground sub area. Okay, got that. Oops. I don't know what that was. I tried to do a dive and roll off of the platform, but I guess I was just too low. And now we're going to one of the best captures in the game, the cactus. Nothing special, just a cactus with a moon under it. There is also a tree that you can capture. It's essentially the same thing, except it looks funnier. And now here's Ronald, everyone's favorite bird. Pretty nice sand. I'm very happy with that. Okay, the next kingdom is Lake Kingdom. It's not really anything special, only 8 moons required to progress. It's about like 3 minutes long, one of the shortest kingdoms in the game. Now, for some reason in Sand Kingdom, if you don't beat the boss on top of the pyramid, it shows that cutscene of them flying away, but it doesn't do that in any other kingdom. I got the clip first try, which took me by surprise because I'm very inconsistent at it. Ow. Nice bonk, Mario. Alright, now, that's basically everything we do on land. In Lake, everything else is underwater. Now, this little speed boost you do with the Cheep Cheep, it doesn't actually make you go faster every time you do it. You can actually just do it once and just keep swimming as normal. But you like the Cheep Cheep likes to change direction a lot, and every time it changes direction, it slows down. So I just like to do it for safety purposes. Now we're gonna be doing Cheep Cheep Jump, which is one of the stupider tricks in this game. Alright, nice. It looks easy, but you never know what that trick can do. And now here's the next brutal fight, Rango. He's a complete joke, by the way. Okay. Now that Lake Kingdom is done, we are going to be going to one of the hardest kingdoms in the run, which is Wooded Kingdom. And recently, a new route was discovered, or a new route was made for Wooded. It requires a clip, an out-of-bounds moon, and a super dumb ramp jump. You'll know what I mean when I get there. I'm going to be going for something called a moon clip. And if I don't get that, I'm just going to do a rock clip, which is essentially the same as a Sphinx clip, except a little bit easier. And what the moon clip does is if you grab a moon, like on a specific frame, it pushes Mario through a wall or ceiling, and it allows you to go out of bounds. But the clipping stuff doesn't come until like a minute into the kingdom. We still have to get a couple moons beforehand. So I grabbed this rock. Oh, Nice. Nice bunny. I grabbed the rock and hit the bunny with it so that I can carry it over to that rock. And if you grab a rock with a moon in it and hit another rock with it, the moon spawns instantly instead of you having to hit it a bunch of times. Now we're going to be buying our first moon. And now here's my only shot at the nut clip. If I don't get it, I'll just go for the other one. If I do get it and get everything else, I'll save about 20 seconds over the old route. Pretty sure I didn't get it. Yeah. Oh. See, sometimes when Cappy hits a switch, the game likes to lag and eat your inputs, and that's why I didn't get a long jump there. Alright. Come on. Okay, here's the hard part. Okay, got that. And we got the ramp jump, nice. That's the new wooded route. Everything else continues as normal. Ugh, come on. Now we're going to be entering the maze to get another nut moon. We bust a lot of nuts in this kingdom. Yes, I had to make the joke. Here's a cool strat. I'm pretty sure that's slower, but it looks cooler, so I like to do it. Oops, come on. Alright, now we're gonna roll on this roof and hopefully not die. Didn't die. Okay. Immediately after getting this story moon, I'm gonna do a trick called Flower Road Skip. I'm gonna jump off the corner of the railing you see, like, on the top left of me, and that skips hitting that P-switch and walking all the way over. But it's pretty tight, so... Okay, got it. Now I just have to not die. Nice. Okay. Now we're gonna do the tower climb and get 2 more moons. That's it for all the normal wooded moons. All we have left is a boss fight against another brutal named Spewart, who is also a complete joke. This guy's probably the easiest out of all of them. You just throw your hat, backflip, knock his hat off, and hit him. And then you do it again. Easy. Okay, now after Wooded, the game makes you think you're going to Metro Kingdom, which, like, of course it would do that because that's, like, the hypest part of the game. Oh my god, we're going to Metro, guys. It's the big New Donk City place. But Bowser's going to interrupt our little cruise and force us to fight him in Cloud Kingdom. And the Bowser fight's not all that bad. There is a pretty difficult strat that I'm going for, so... Well, it's not too difficult, but I can mess it up easily. Topper is not a joke. I can guarantee that. See, it tells you you're going to Metro, but we're actually going to Cloud because of a cutscene that I'm going to skip. The story in this game is actually surprisingly good for a Mario game. I know a Mario game having a story. Alright, here's the Bowser fight. Alright, that's the first hit. The reason I'm going behind him is because if you hit him all the way back there, he only jumps one space. Saves a few half seconds. Now, unfortunately, since the second hat was in the middle, I have to hit him straight forward, so he jumps like halfway across the map. Now for the third hit, we're going to damage boost because he throws all the hats twice. So we wouldn't have enough time. And that's Bowser. Now coming up is a very scary kingdom. Lost. A lot of people know this kingdom as being one of the Monka-esque moments of the run. For me, it's because of one specific trick at the very end that I like to mess up a lot. But I'm gonna go for it. Now, coming up here is Meme Tree. Everyone loves this guy. Now for the butterfly, which can also be pretty scary. Okay. Now, you see that bird on top of the stairs? Well, we're gonna make him angry. And the reason we do that is because if I go anywhere else in the level, he will take my hat. Without making him mad. So I have to do that. Okay. Coming up is the hard trick after these two moons. I don't even know if I touched the guy with Cappy. And I died. Oh wait, I didn't. Never mind. Okay, backup time. I don't know how I didn't die when I bonked there. I got extremely lucky, but... I'm just thanking Nintendo for not making me die there. Alright, that's lost. Very, very stressful. And now we're going to be entering Metro. But not in the way you would think, because it's going to be all dark and stormy. And Night Metro is one of the hardest segments of the run, in my opinion. But after we beat the boss in Night Metro, we go into Day Metro, which is a lot more fun. Right here we're gonna do a little jump off this awning that saves a lot of time. Because we don't have to walk around the whole block. Now I'm gonna get on top of this building so that I can just roll immediately over to this one. Okay, well, my power roll didn't come out. Doesn't lose too much time, but that's pretty dumb. And now for City Hall, one of the scariest parts of Night Metro. Because if you fall here, you lose a lot of time. Now we just mash B to get up these poles. And we do this jump, and we're done. Now we enter the hardest boss fight in the entire game. Mecha Wiggler. One of the only instances of RNG in the entire game. Because of the way he moves around the level. I'm gonna try to go for a 2-cycle here, which means when he does this little thing, which I can't really make any faster, I'm gonna have to try to hit all of the segments of his body in 1 cycle before he goes back into the wall. And if I miss it, I lose about 30 seconds. So I'm gonna try not to mess up. Okay, I got it. Nice. That was really good RNG on the Wiggler's part, so I'm happy about that. Well, aside from not getting a roll on that building, that was a pretty solid Night Metro. And now it is time for Day Metro. And Day Metro also has a new route that saves about 1.5 seconds, and you get the same moons, just in a different order. What we would normally do is get the 2 musicians last, but immediately after getting a moon inside a girder, we're going to go get them. And here's another, technically you can call it a Dram strat, but Dram didn't find this one. This was found out on, like, the first day of the game. And here's Scooter Clip. Just gotta line it up. Oh, I missed. I'm bad. I'm gonna keep going for it, because I want to show this off. There. Now we're going to be visiting everybody's best friend, the Benchman. Okay, Mario, sit down. Talk to him, gosh. Sometimes Mario doesn't like to sit down with the dude, even though he's just trying to be nice. Alright, this is where the route changes. Normally I would warp to the rooftop after this, but instead, I'm just gonna go over to the musicians. Alright, this is bad movement. Okay. Ugh. That was disgusting. Here's our first dude, Mr. Yao. Really, Mario? Now here comes everybody's favorite dead meme. You all know it. Oh, tap, haha. Now we're going to warp to the rooftop and do some stuff up here, and then go all the way back down to an alley with a bunch of people. Dang it. I tried to go for a triple jump there, but Mario got caught on the wall. Now I'm going to do a blind dive down to the next moon. Whee! Now we're going to go all the way up to the tallest building and climb it, because there is a moon at the top. Then we're going to go all the way back down. And hopefully land on this railing. Nice. Oh, no bullseye. Dang it. Alright, here's the alley. Just gonna roll over a bunch of pedestrians, no big deal. And that's Metro. Now, coming up is Snow Kingdom, and this one is a tough one, for sure. Because there is one big trick at the very end of it called Snow Dram, and no, Dram55 did not find this strat, but people like to name stuff after him now, because memes. And basically, what this trick does is it's a big jump to the island that normally you would go through a painting from, like, Mushroom Kingdom to get to at the end of the game. But we can get there with a super precise jump. But it's not until the very end, so can't really show it off yet. Now, the reason we're outside at the beginning of Snow is because inside this little snow wall here, we have Captain Toad. And we're gonna bust open his home and ask for a moon. Now we're going to enter Shiveria, which is where most of the moons are. Oops. I'm gonna do a little bounce off this umbrella here. Get on top of the bridge. I missed. Alright, after getting this moon, we're going to be entering the main areas inside Shiveria, which are these little sub-areas that contain story moons. This one is the hardest. Alright, that was good. Now we gotta capture this blowy Joey over here and deal with Spinies to get our story moon. Good Spinies. Ugh. Come on. Now, after getting this moon, we're going into an icy room with a bunch of Goombas. Not as difficult, but stuff can still go wrong there. Like, sometimes if you keep that Goomba up ahead off screen for too long, he will just walk off the edge and die. And if enemies die in this game, they don't come back unless you die for some reason. I'm gonna do a nice triple jump here. Get the moon. Alright. Now after this, we're going to be getting our next shop moon. And then after getting the shop is the infamous Snowdram I was talking about. Now, for some reason, with these guys, compared to other shops, you can talk to them from super far away, instead of having to walk up to the counter. Okay, here we go. Hardest trick in the run. If I miss it, it's not a big deal. I'll just keep going for it. I got it! Nice! I'm very happy I got that. That was a very nice snow. Alright, now for Seaside, which, not as difficult as Snow, but still a pretty hard kingdom, in my opinion. People underestimate how hard this kingdom is. And starting off is a pretty difficult moon, because we have to do a triple jump up here to this little cliff that's coming up. Alright, nice, I got it. Now just don't bonk on the way down. Okay, good. Oh, that was close. Ow. Now for these notes. There is a strat where you can store the rocket flower here. It saves like 0.2 seconds, so it's not worth it. And now, the rest of Seaside is just underwater stuff. Basically just abuse the Cheep Cheep for the rest of Seaside. Pretty boring kingdom. Aside from that bonk in the jet stream area, that was a pretty good Seaside, like, land area of Seaside. I can still bonk a few times here, but they don't lose as much time as bonks on land. here's Dory. Last time we saw Dory was Lake Kingdom, who also had a moon. Aw, that was almost a perfect underwater section. Alright, now that Snow and Seaside are done, the fork in the road is completed, and we are going to Luncheon, which is... Luncheon is pretty Monka-esque, to say the least. Yeah, Luncheon, just overall, very hard kingdom, 18 moons to collect, and at the very start, there's a difficult jump. And it just keeps getting harder from there. Let's hope I get it. Nice, okay. Really happy I got that. Missing that loses a lot of time. If you get the roll off that platform at just the right spot, you can roll immediately onto that platform there, but since I wasn't at the right spot, I had to do a dive. Oh, and here's the refight with Spewart. This is the last time we'll see him. But his boss arena is actually rectangular this time. So it's a very different boss fight. And he's dead. Rip Spewart. Okay, immediately after Spewart, there's a nice little moon here in this sub-area that I'm about to enter. Then after I get this moon, we're going to be entering the plaza, which is where we get a lot of the moons in Luncheon. I stalled there when doing my dive so that the platforms could spawn. Alright, here's a pretty cool jump inside the plaza. Got it. Cappy's homing ability is a lot more useful than people think. Now we're going to be grabbing this golden turnip here. And missing completely, because I'm bad at basketball. Rip Kobe. Now the reason I pan my camera to a top-down view here is because the lava bubble cycle here is pretty tight if you don't do it. So I want to make sure he spawns as I'm getting the moon. And now, everyone's favorite room, forks. We rely entirely on motion controls to get us through here. Wow, okay. I'm impressed with myself, because I actually just did that. Pretty nice forks, besides that, even though it looked cool. And now coming up is another trick exclusive to 1.0 called Turnip Clip. First I have to get up this wall. Good. That's harder than it looks because you have to use a specific camera angle to get up. Alright, here's the turnip that we have to use. I basically have to put it, see that cage over there? There's a moon in there. I have to put the turnip on a specific spot, capture a hammer bro, bring him over there, uncapture the hammer bro, and then recapture to clip in. So, I think that setup worked. Nice, I got it. It's pretty easy once you figure out how it works. Alright, now, after Turnip Clip is just a few more moons, and then everybody, like a fan favorite capture in the game is coming up, by the way. Everybody loves this one. I'm gonna play it safe there. Alright, here it is, the meat. Twitch our meat. The reason I say Twitch is because in the English version it tells you to press B to Twitch. Very funny. That was a really nice luncheon. Pretty happy with that. I think the only real mistake I made was like that bonkin' forks. Alright, now after luncheon, the game once again trolls you by telling you, hey, you're gonna be going to Bowser's Kingdom. But instead, Bowser shoots us down in a cutscene that I'm going to skip. And it puts us in Ruined Kingdom with quite possibly the hardest boss in a Mario game, like, ever. You don't want to mess with this guy. Big scary dragon, auto-scroller. Yeah, Ruined Kingdom is just an auto-scroller with dumb movement at the start to get to it. Alright, here we go. The return of Spyro. Forget the Dark Souls jokes, this is all about Spyro. So, how this fight works is I have to wait for him to slam his head down. What am I doing? That was slow. Alright, I didn't do it optimally there because I was messing around. But you're supposed to damage boost on his head, and then just wait for him to clear up the lightning, and then you just hit those little swords that are on his head to clear up the crown. It is possible to clip into the crown, but the hitbox isn't there, so we can't skip hitting the swords off his head. This is how you're supposed to do it. Now just one more hit. Also, yes, for anyone wondering, I am one of probably like 2 people to have ever died on this boss in a run. I know, sad. Really? Come on. Alright, pretty bad fight because Cappy wouldn't work. And now that the dragon is dead, well, not dead, but now that the dragon is gone, we are going to be heading to Bowser's Kingdom, which is one of the longest kingdoms in the game. I think Metro is just a bit longer. And the reason it's the same length as Metro is you only need 8 moons to progress, but you have to get world peace in this kingdom. Like, you have to beat every boss and get every story moon. Bowser's Kingdom is probably my favorite kingdom in the run, just because the movement throughout it the entire time is just so clean. And also the boss at the end of it is one of the best bosses in any Mario game. Just gonna do some rolling here, avoid these Goombas. Don't even know why they're here. Can't do anything. And we're gonna climb up this wall. Now we're gonna be killing that ogre over there to get the first story moon. Rip that guy. Alright, now the second part of Bowser's Kingdom is a Moon Shards Fest. And this is probably the hardest part of Bowser's, at least in my opinion. Just because the movement needs to be, like, perfect. Like, the whole way. It's very hard. Nice. Those were really good shards. I guess I should mention what roll cancel jumps are. Basically, you just throw your hat out during a roll to cancel it, and then you just jump. It gains you a lot of speed during a jump. Now this is the first non-story moon we get, because we need 2 to get out of the kingdom. Okay, don't spin pound Mario. Yeah, this is actually the only kingdom that doesn't tell you how many moons you need to progress. Now, this part, it doesn't matter which bunny you fight first. I like to do Topper first, because he's harder, in my opinion. Pretty good fight, though. And now, after Topper, we're going to be fighting everybody's favorite waifu, Harriet. Everybody loves Harriet, right? Now, the optimal strat for this fight, as you can see, is to just hit the bombs back at her while they're in the air. A runner named Fir, F-I-R underscore, he has a ridiculous strat for the Harriet fight where you go into first person and just let your cap sit there and it hits the bombs in midair without you having to do anything. It's very dumb and difficult. And I think he's the only one who does it. Does save time, though. Okay, coming up on the final stretch of Bowser's Kingdom, the big climb up to the last boss. Last boss of the kingdom. We still have, like, 8 minutes to go. And this is where we get our second non-story moon, which is behind these boxes, which you can't see yet, but you will. There you go. And now the camera gets locked here, so the movement is pretty janky. But you can just readjust it there. Aw, dang it. I tried to hit that little part of the wall that's actually pokeable, because with the Pokeo, if you put your nose in certain spots, it lets you grab onto them, as you can see, and just pulling yourself up. Okay, coming up, pretty scary fight, but really cool. Normally we use a Pokeo to beat this boss, but I'm just gonna climb up the side and do the entire fight without it. Hopefully. Whoops. Alright, that's one. Nice, okay. And now in this part of the fight, you can't hit any of the Brutals. Their hitboxes are just invincible. You just have to wait until this is over. Okay, that's 3. And the last one. Oh, this might not end well. Okay, I saved it. I'm very happy. Now, if I could just hit Harriet. Yes! Okay, that didn't go as planned, but it was still cool. Okay, that's Bowser's Kingdom. I had to, like, recover from that save. That was pretty ridiculous. I don't know how much time that lost me, but I think I'm still on pace to get a 104 this run, which would be pretty nice. My PB is 104.22, which I cannot beat. Cannot beat with this run, that is. Yeah, I think we're still good for 104 pace. I just have to not lose like 20 seconds in Moon. Speaking of Moon, we're going to the Moon! What a surprise for the last kingdom of Mario Odyssey. So, at the start of Moon Kingdom, I'm going to be doing something similar to what I did at the very beginning of the game, which is vectoring, except since the moon allows you to jump incredibly high, we don't need a frog for it. Mario can just do it himself. And as you can see, he changed into his dapper outfit. Alright, got the vector. Almost bonked. That would have been bad. And there's the bonk. Now we're going to do another vector here to bring us closer to the biggest skip in the entire game, Moon Cave skip. Everybody knows this one. It takes about 5 minutes, and it's free. Now we're going to enter the chapel and get ready for the final showdown with Bowser. Now, the final battle with Bowser, it's essentially the exact same as the other one, but in between hits, he just breathes fire, which the fire is a lot bigger than the hitbox. Now, unlike the first Bowser fight, I don't have to hit him, like, super far back. Like, I don't have to walk around him before punching him, because he just jumps to the center anyway. This is what's different about the fight. Alright. That's number 2. Just one more hit. Same as last time, we're just gonna damage boost. And that's final Bowser, but we're not done yet. Still have one part left. And that's the escape. And the cool part about the escape is that we get to... Hold on. Suspense. We get to play as Bowser. Nobody saw this coming. Now, there is a difficult skip here that I'm going to be doing called 2D skip. Even though it's not actually a skip, it's just a shortcut in the 2D section. But it was coined 2D skip for some reason, so I'm calling it that. Here we go. Hopefully I get it. Nice, okay. Whoops, okay, this is bad. Alright. Made it through 2D. Should be good for a rest. Now this part right here is probably the best ending to a Mario game. Alright, what I did there was called early pillar. Hopefully I can adjust to it and not die from the camera turn that happens when you get it. Alright, here we go. Okay, please don't die. Didn't die, let's go. Should be a 104. Pretty nice run. Alright. And... time. Pretty solid run, 104. I'm happy with that. Lost was pretty bad. That was probably the biggest mistake. I got Snowdram. I'm very happy about that. Got Sphinx Clip. I got the new wooded route. First moon skip was a bit of a struggle. But other than that, pretty happy with that. 104 in a marathon isn't bad at all. Just be oddme underscore, like it says on the marathon.